Hello aspirants, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Most students lose marks in polity not because they didn't study but because they fell for the examiner's traps. Let's today escape the examiner's trap. In this video, we are tackling a specially curated polity MCQ challenge designed to expose those exact blind spots. We will cover everything from basic to advanced, breaking down not just the correct answer but why the other options are wrong. So, grab a pen and paper, count your score, and let's see how many you actually get right. Okay, now let's dive straight into the question number 1. Okay, which of the following terms was not originally included in the preamble of the Constitution of India? Which of the following terms was not originally included in the preamble of the Constitution of India? Option A is sovereign, option B is socialist, option C is democratic, option D is republic. Okay, can you answer this very simple question? Now, the correct answer is option B, socialist. Originally, the preamble describes India as a sovereign, democratic republic. Okay. In the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, the term socialist has included. Clear? Now, question number 2 is the preamble of the Constitution of India was inspired by the Constitution of which country? The preamble of the Constitution of India was inspired by the Constitution of which country? Option A, United Kingdom, option B, Canada, option C, United States of America, option D, Australia. Ready? Your 5 seconds starts now. Now, again, very simple question. The correct answer is option C, United States of America. The idea and concepts of having a preamble for the Constitution were inspired by the Constitution of United States of America. Clear? Now, question number 3 is, consider the following statements. A. Apartheid was a policy of racial segregation and discrimination. 2. Nelson Mandela was a prominent leader in the struggle against apartheid in South Africa. Option 3 is, Nelson Mandela became the first non-white president of South Africa in 1993. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1 and 2 only, B. 2 and 3 only, C. 1 and 3 only, D. 1, 2 and 3 only. Pause the video if you need more time to think the question. Remember, the question is easy. The framing is a little bit tricky. So, find those trickiness on this question. Now, the correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. 1 is absolutely correct, second is absolutely correct. Why third is wrong? Because Nelson Mandela became the first non-white president of South Africa in 1994. In 1993, he has received the Nobel Prize. Clear? Now, question number 4 is, the Zulu language is primarily spoken in which country? The Zulu language is primarily spoken in which country? Option A, Kenya, option B, Nigeria, option C, South Africa, option D, Ethiopia. Take a 5 seconds and lock in your answer. Now, the correct answer is option C. The Zulu language is a southern Bantu language primarily spoken by the Zulu people, who constitute the largest ethnic group in South Africa. One-liner question. Question number 5 is, which one of the following best reflects the democratic principle of political equality in India? Option A, equal income for all citizens. Option B, equal educational qualifications for voting. Option C, one person, one vote, one value. Option D, equal representation of all states in parliament. Ready? Your 5 seconds starts now. Now, the correct answer is C. Absolutely right. The core foundation of democratic political equality is captured by the maxim one person, one vote, one value. Clear? In India, that is formalized through Universal Adult Suffrage Article 326. Note it down on your notebook. Article 326, Universal Adult Suffrage, which means every citizen above 18 years of old has the right to vote without discrimination. Okay? Now, question number 6 is, which of the following statements about Gram Sabha is correct? Which of the following statements about Gram Sabha is correct? A. It consists of all registered voters of the village. Option second is it elects the Gram Panchayat. Option third is it is an executive body. Option A is 1 and 2 only, B 2 and 3 only, C 1 and 3 only, D 1, 2 and 3 only. Now, take a pause of 5 seconds and lock in your answer. Now, the correct answer is absolutely 1 and 2 only. Right? Under the Panchayati Raj system, 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, the Gram Sabha is a permanent body comprising all adults registered in the electoral rolls of the village, and it acts as a general body that elects the representative of the Gram Sabha. But why the statement third is incorrect? Because the Gram Sabha is a legislative or deliberative body at the grassroots level. Right? Question number 7 is, consider the following statements. Statement number 1 is, the construction and maintenance of water sources, roads, drainage and other common property resources. Second, levying and collection of local taxes. Third, executing government schemes related to generating employment in the villages. Fourth, conduct of Lok Sabha election. Which of the above are functions of a Gram Panchayat? A 1, 2 and 3 only, B 1 and 4 only, C 2, 3 and 4 only, D 1, 2, 3 and 4 only. Remember, this question is most expected question in this upcoming exam. Make sure you know all the functions of a Gram Panchayat. Now, the correct answer is absolutely option A. Why fourth is wrong? Because to conduct of Lok Sabha election is a part of Election Commission of India. It's a function of Election Commission of India, not the function of Gram Panchayat. Clear? Now, question number 8 is, Juthan, often discussed in Dalit literature, was originally written by Om Prakash Valmiki. It is in which language? Option A Marathi, option B Hindi, option C Tamil, option D English. In this question, you will get 3 important facts. Number 1 is Juthan, discussed in Dalit literature. Number 2 is written by Om Prakash Valmiki. And number 3 is which language? Guess? Yes, the correct answer is Hindi. Number 3 fact is Hindi, and it was published in 1997. Please note this basic facts on your revision notebook. Question number 9 is, consider the following statements regarding the right to equality. Regarding the right to equality. A. Untouchability has been abolished under the Constitution. Second, equality of opportunity is guaranteed in matters of public employment. Third, titles such as Raja and Maharaja are still recognized by the Constitution. Which of the above statements are correct? A 1 and 2 only, B 2 and 3 only, C 1 and 3 only, D all of the above. Now, take a pause of 5 seconds and lock your answer. Now, the correct answer is absolutely A 1 and 2 only. We all know under article, yes, under article 17 untouchability has been abolished, and under article 16 equality of opportunities is guaranteed in all matters of public employment. But statement 3 is incorrect because article 18 completely abolished the titles which has inherent of Raja, Maharaja, Rai Bahadur, like that, are no longer exist. Clear? Question number 10 is, which of the following is not an objective of the midday meal program? Not an objective of the midday meal program. Option A is enhancing nutritional level of children. Option B, increasing school attendance. Option C, promoting social equity among children. Option D, providing employment to all rural households. Very simple question, very simple options also. Now, the correct answer is yes, option D. Providing employment to all rural households is not an objective of a midday meal program. Clear? Easy question but important question. The midday meal scheme is renamed as. The midday meal scheme is renamed as. Option A, Poshan Abhiyan. Option B, PM Garib Kalyan Yojana. Option C, PM Poshan Scheme. Option D, National Nutrition Mission. Can you get this question right in just 5 seconds? If you trust me, you are on the right path. Now, the correct answer is option C, Pradhan Mantri Poshan Scheme. Pradhan Mantri Poshan Shakti Nirman. Okay, in September 2021, the Union Cabinet approved renaming the centrally sponsored midday meal scheme in school as the PM Poshan Scheme. Clear? Question number 12 is, which one of the following best describes the civil rights movement in the United States of America? Option A is a movement against British colonial rule. Option B is a movement for racial equality and civil liberties of African Americans. Option C is a movement for women's suffrage only. Option D is a movement to establish separate schools for races. Okay, ready? Your 5 seconds starts now. The correct answer is yes, option B, a movement for racial equality and civil liberties for African American. This movement has started during the period of 1950s and 1960s, was an expansive social struggle aimed at abolishing legal racial segregation, institutionalization of discrimination. Okay, various things are happening there. That is why it culminated in historical milestones like Civil Rights Act of 1964, securing legal equalities under federal protection. This question is very, very important and most expected question to be asked in this upcoming examination. E-Anugya is an e-governance system to provide no objection certificate for. E-Anugya is an e-governance system to provide no objection certificate for. Option A is crop movement outside Madhya Pradesh. Option B, vehicle movement outside Madhya Pradesh. Option C, mineral movement outside Madhya Pradesh. Option D, liquor movement outside Madhya Pradesh. This one is a bit tricky, but just give it a try. Now, the correct answer is yes, option A, crop movement outside Madhya Pradesh. E-Anugya is an administrative portal, an electronic single window clearance initiative managed by the MP State Agricultural Marketing Board. It simplifies agricultural supply chain by digitization and generating no objection certificates and transit permits from only crops and agricultural produce across state boundaries out of Madhya Pradesh. Clear? Now comment me. BRICS 2026, the agricultural conference meeting held in which district of Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Now the most loved question of the competitive exam is, who was the first chief minister of Madhya Pradesh after its formation in 1956? Option A is Kailash Nath Kadju. Option B is Bhagwant Rao Mandloi. Option C is Ravi Shankar Shukla. Option D is Dwarka Prasad Misra. One line question, easy question. Now the correct answer is yes, option C, Ravi Shankar Shukla. Clear? Now the question number 15 is, match the following. List 1 shows the constitutional features. List 2 shows the countries. Okay, you have to match list 1 and list 2. In list 1, option A is fundamental right, B is directive principle of state policy, option C is parliamentary system. In list 2, the given sources and countries. 1 is United Kingdom, 2 is Ireland, 3rd is USA. Now you have to match list 1 and list 2. Now take a pause of 10 seconds and lock your answer. Now the correct answer is fundamental rights, part 3rd, were heavily borrowed from the US Bill of Rights. Okay, it means United States of America. Now DPSP or Directive Principle of State Policy, part 4th, were totally inspired by the Irish Constitution, means Ireland. And the executive and framework and parliamentary system are inspired by the British United Kingdom. Clear? The contemporary question. Who is the current Chief Minister of Assam? Who is the current Chief Minister of Assam? A. Sarbananda Sonowal. B. Himanta Vishwa Sarma. C. Bhupendra Patel. D. N. Biren Singh. Take a pause of 5 seconds and lock your answer. Now, the correct answer is absolutely right. B. Himant Vishwa Sarma is serving as the Chief Minister of Assam. He assumed office in recently election. Tell me, Dr. Himant Vishwa Sarma is belonged to which national political party? Question number 17 is, the Election Commission of India is responsible for conducting elections to which of the following? 1. Lok Sabha, 2. Rajya Sabha, 3. State Legislative Assemblies, 4. Panchayat. Select the correct answer using the code below. A. 1 and 4 only, B. 2 and 3 only, C. 1, 2 and 3 only, D. all of the above. Remember, this question is important. Now the correct answer is 1, 2 and 3 only. Under Article 324, the Election Commission of India directs and control election to the Union Parliament. Union Parliaments, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the State Legislative Assemblies and Council, the office of the President and Vice President. Clear? But the local body election for Panchayat and municipalities are conducted entirely by the respective state election commissions, not by the Election Commission of India. Clear? Now the general awareness question is, which of the following institutions is primarily responsible for developing school textbooks at the national level in India? A. University Grant Commission. B. National Council of Educational Research and Training. C. All India Council for Technical Education. D. National Testing Agency. Can you answer this simple question, yet a tricky question? Just give it a try, okay? Now the correct answer is absolutely NCERT, National Council of Educational Research and Training. It is an autonomous organization, we all know, set up to advise the central and state government on academic matters concerning school education. Clear? Now, a factual based question is, NCERT was established in option A 1950, option B 1956, option C 1961, option D 1965. Now take a pause of 5 seconds and just lock your answer. Now, the correct answer is option C, 1961. The National Council of Educational Research and Training was formally set up and began its operation on September 1, 1961. Clear? The last question and the most loved question for all competitive exam is, the Supreme Court is called the guardian of the Constitution because the Supreme Court is called the guardian of the Constitution because it A. Conducts election, B. Appoints governor, C. Protects the Constitution through judicial review, D. Amends the Constitution. In this question you will get two facts. Okay, your 5 seconds over now. Yes, the correct answer is it protects the Constitution through judicial review. So who is the guardian of the Constitution? Supreme Court. Clear? Now the reality check is, remember guys, every wrong answer today is a blessing in disguise. It's one less mistake you will make on the day of the actual exam. Okay, so polity is not just about memorizing the articles and articles. It's about understanding the logic of our democracy. Keep analyzing your weak spots and keep strengthening your strengthening part. Keep revising your notes and never let a low score dampen your spirits. Work hard and stay disciplined, and let's turn those weak areas into your biggest strength. Okay, if you enjoyed this quiz, don't forget to like, share and comment your score and subscribe for more exciting MCQs. Your journey to success starts with one question at a time. Okay, so stay curious and stay motivated. All the best. Bye bye.